Okay. Hey, this is my video for using the equipment in the gym for some high-intensity interval training or intervals, because I do it a lot of different ways with my programming for the intervals. But this is the way you use your equipment to get the most out of it. All right, so what I do here, because what most people will do is they will leave no tension on the bike so they can go really fast, so they can look good going really fast. And you know, with intervals and fat loss, it's not so much about going really, really fast. It's about effort and exertion, how much you're exerting yourself. So you can push yourself hard enough to where your body will produce lactic acid. And in all the other posts, I won't even get into that, but when you're producing high amounts of lactic acid, you will receive a lot of benefits. When you're chasing fat loss, or just even better conditioning, or things like that. You know, like giving yourself more endurance and stuff like that.
What you're seeing is I started up the bike, and I like to have control over what I'm doing, because if you give it control, you're never going to get the workout that you want. Okay, so I put it on manual. Again, I want control, so that when I get, I'm going to put 20 minutes here, so that I get manual. Oh yeah, so I can control how long and how short my intervals are. So right now, most of the time I use this just for the clock. There's a clock here. Okay, so I use this for the clock so I can time my intervals. So now that I'm on manual, let's say I'm going to do sprints of 15 seconds after 45 seconds rest. So what I can do is I can start right at 0 as my rest period. So I'll just go nice and easy, and it's at 30 seconds now. So when it gets to 45 seconds, I'll show you what I do here. You can, of course, I can increase the level by by hitting the plus button, but I need it fast, so there's my level change. Okay, now I'll make the level high so that I'm forced to push harder to get my during my interval, so I can produce lactic acid in a much shorter period of time. Okay, now after the time is over, I go back to the easy, nice and easy. Okay, so that's you know, I did 45 seconds with 15 seconds rest just for the purpose of this video. But then, you know, there's various types of intervals and things like that that you can do. Now, I also tend to give a lot of short intervals where I might do the 8-12s or 15-15s, 6-9s, something like that, which would be 8 seconds sprint with 12 seconds rest. Okay, for that, I would usually keep the resistance at an even level. So like I did 15 during this sprint, so I might say I'm gonna go 10 and then have my sprint go from there at 10. So I have a little bit more resistance, but not quite as much as the other, as during the other sprints. So that with those 8-12s, you're going continuously, and there's basically almost no rest. 12 seconds is nothing after pushing that hard. So I kind of keep it a little bit lower so you can keep going for at least a 20-minute period. Okay, but what I do for that usually, workout music. All right, I use this app called Interval Timer, and so see, I have my 8-12 here, and so the green light would be for the sprints, and so has a buzzer, so I can just go for the sprints, and the 12 seconds, the pink would be the rest, and you could pre-program it for whatever you want, because everybody's conditioning is different. So that's why I never use random. People's like, oh, there's an interval program on random, but it's totally random at that. And when you're trying to get leaner and leaner and leaner, after you've adapted to things, you want something that's under control, that you have under control, so that you can, so that you want something that you have under control, so that you can change it as you need to change it. Random is always continuously random, so you're gonna get the same program every time if you do random. See, manual, 15:45 was that one? Okay, I can change that to 15:30. I can change it to 20:40. I can do whatever I want with that, and I can do so in a way that would be more challenging to me. Or I can just increase resistance. Random, even the resistance is random, so you can't even change that. So that's kind of how I go into the intervals using equipment. You can do that on the elliptical. You can do that on the treadmill. The treadmill usually doesn't work as well.
rower, but there's different ways to do that. You can even go sled, but you just don't have resistance to alter outside of adding more weight to the sled.